Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's me, Lynn Renee McDonald for Practical Spirituality Live here in Virginia Beach. As you know, we're all pretty much wore out, tired of the energy that is this coronavirus stuff and the government shutdowns and the craziness of all that is going on. We're all pretty tired and over it, right? And you know, I didn't even want to do another YouTube about this, but I feel that, or anything to do with this really, but it has everything to do with everything here and what's going on in the world. Especially as well as where we live here in this earth world in the United States, okay? The United States was based on one of the wonderful magic of the United States, the rules or laws here based in earth world of the United States, right? Democracy, right? Is about freedom of speech, right? Freedom to feel how you want to feel or how you feel, and the freedom to voice your opinion, right? And you can have the freedoms to protest as long as, of course, all these things are not in an unhealthy way to anybody. Or anything. For the most part, there's a balance of that freedom, or there is supposed to be here in earth world freedoms of what you call freedom of speech or democracy, and the freedom to do what you want to do, independence, right? And this country is really based on that. That's the entrepreneur stuff. That's in many ways, shape, or form. Some of it is capitalism, okay? And of course, there's unwellness and a lot of different things. This video isn't about politics. This video is about freedom. And what has come to light is that at this day and age, in these times, we really don't have the freedom to speak our truth, the freedom to tell the truth, the freedom to speak the God's honest truth that we feel in our hearts, right? So to give you an example, with all this coronavirus, everybody knows that I have psychic gifts. I am a medium, a medical intuitive, and that what I do is, right, an energy healer. I teach enlightenment, right? I'm super, super, super gifted with God, with love. And it's not because I'm fucking great, although I am great, but I'm great because of God. I'm great with love energy because I work with that love energy and I choose to be this. Just like you can do, right? We all have these gifts. We are all fucking amazing if we choose to be and we work with the highest form of love. That's what I do, right? So many of you know that I have these gifts. So when shit hits the fan, people reach out to other people that they know and they trust, who are solid and have their shit together. And then sometimes when they get really, really scared, people I wouldn't normally hear from will reach out to people like me, and they're asking for solutions and answers, and they want to know what I get psychically, what they should be doing with their money, and should they be moving, what their plans are with the economy, and what's going to happen, and blah, 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 right? All this stuff. And they want to know what the psychic projection is here out in the field of energy, right? What's going to happen, and they want to know, like in earth world linear terms, what's going to happen for sure, right? There's a percentage of for sureness, and I'm going to explain to you how metaphysical really works, so you guys get a clue. Anytime you go to a psychic, an energy worker, or whoever it is that you are doing, that has doing meaning working with, that has metaphysical gifts, you are working with them for your greatest outcome, right? But in the moment is the information that you get, right? In the moment is when you get that healing or that information that you need, and it's relevant to the very now moment that you are in, right? Like I can tell you today, let's say somebody calls me up and I say, hi, so-and-so. And she says to me, well, I'm thinking about selling my house. I want to move to Hawaii. And I say to her, well, I said, I'm not getting that for you right now. I'm getting that it should come in about 2 to 3 years and that now is not the time. Now, this is what comes in from her soul that's around her in her energy field, her creation energy field at that moment, right? 2 hours from now, 2 seconds from now, 5 days from now, 5 months from now, that could all change. And she may call me back and she may be like, what do you get now? And I may say something totally different. Oh, today it says you should leave tomorrow, right? right? So it's all relevant. Energy is all relevant to the collective consciousness and all that is God in the very moment. So, and in the very moment of your soul, okay? So everything is energy, and this is how it truly looks, or not truly looks, how it truly is outside, okay? So, are in this world, okay? This is how things truly work. Clear on change all of this and keep the energy out of my phone right now from the highest form of love of interruption, and give me the clearest connection to love right now. Clear on change any and all blocks into me, and the best way that stop this from happening, and the best way for me and all or something better. And thank you, God, for that for me. So that said, see how I do that? Any kind of interruptions on my phone that break up and fuck up my energy? Boom. Let me be free of that. Thank you, God, for that for me. And the best way for me and all or something better, right? Okay, so freedoms, we were talking about freedoms. Thanks, God, for bringing me right back into that place now, please, in the best way for us and all or something better. So back to when people call me up, and they call me up from a place of fear, and they want to know what's going on in the world, or they want to know what's going on with them, and I tap into their soul in that moment. The percentages, and they'll say to me, well, how do you know this? And I'm like, well, this is what you pay me for. I talk to God 24/7. I eat, breathe, live, sleep God. I'm guided by that love energy, do my shit, understand law of universe or law of love energy, and I do my work. And this is how I get these answers, along with that my soul came in here to do this mission, right? Okay, so the more you work with God, the more you get the God's honest truth, the more you know what the fuck is happening in the moment, across the board, what's out there in the collective energy field, right? Of the collective consciousness about what's going to manifest, that energy field. All of you are feeling it right now. It's heavy, heavy shit, right? Or heavy, heavy energy. It's kind of like I've wanted to feel like throwing up these last bunch of days, 2 or 3 days to 5 to 7 days. And the reason is because this energy is like, it's toxic to me. It's kind of a little bit physical. So ask God to be free of that. Thank you, God, for that for me, and the best way for me and all or something better, right? Okay, because that energy is so heavy. But I'm feeling the energy. Everybody feels the energy, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. This is how it works, okay? So when you call me up to do a reading for you, all right, or anything else, in reference to, you want to know what school you're going to go to, you want to know when you should go, is there a man coming in for you? Any information I get is relevant to where your soul is, where the collective consciousness is, your soul's mission, what work you've done on your soul, what's in your way, what's standing in your way, and in that very moment of now, what is best for you is going to come to the surface to me, because I ask and you shall receive. And I'll say, okay, God, what's the best solution for so-and-so? What's the God's honest truth to the answers that are best for them that she is asking me, right? That's how I get the answers that I do, whether I speak this out loud, and you hear me, or I'm working with spirit from within, where I do not speak in verbal, just like reading silently. You know what I mean? Same kind of concept, right? That said, okay, in these times, this is how it works. So when people call up, or they say to psychics and people, in this moment, this is where the energy stands. You have the time to change that with what is called free will. So let's say that girl I did the reading for, and I told her she was going to go to Hawaii. Let's say she says, well, fuck Lynn, you know what? I think I'm going to go to San Diego next week. And she changes her mind. And now she's going to San Diego. Everything that I said, you could say, well, that wasn't the truth, what Lynn told her. Well, she decided with the magic of love energy from here that is free will that she was going to San Diego, and she didn't want to believe what I told her. And so she changes everything. Do you see that? Everything. She changes everything from love, okay? So this is all of the magic that we all have, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. She may just said, oh, I don't believe what that girl said. And then she starts thinking, she sees a magazine at home and it says San Diego. And she decides, oh, I feel like more like I'm going to go to San Diego. Well, she changes the projection of the path she is taking. And how it works is there's 102 paths in any given lifetime at any given moment for any given soul, right? And all that is God, right? But this is the basic makeup system for all that is, right? There's 102 paths that you can take, right? And in this earth world for people, 102 paths. That's the number 3, which is the number of active God. And you can get on any one of those paths. So when she comes to me in that moment, she's on this path, the one that goes to Hawaii. When she changes her mind or goes home or 5 minutes later says, fuck Lynn, and I don't believe what she said, then she changes everything. And she goes from the path she was in that now moment with me to a whole different path. Okay. This is how it truly works, people. You have the power of free will to change everything. Same is true with coronavirus. There's 102 paths, right? There's millions of destinies, ways to go, different paths to get on. So there's this path that leads down these paths that lead down these paths, but there is a general line, and everything is connected to everything else and everything that is all that is God. But with the power of free will, you change, you create, you have your greatest destiny or not, right? Okay, so you understand now when you go to a psychic and they get information for you, they are giving you the probability of what is coming for you in that very moment, right? And I can give you percentages because they'll tell me, 73 to 92% she's going to Hawaii, right? In the next 2 to 3 years, right? And I will tell her that. But she has the power to say, I don't want to do that. That's free will. You have the God magic that I have. We all have this. The more you work with love energy, the more you're in your heart space, which is what these changes of coronavirus shit is all about, and the government reworking. This is all has to do with Pluto and Jupiter and Neptune and Uranus and Mars, and all the planets are the catalysts for this to happen. So Pluto is transformation. The planet Pluto, is it Pluto? Yeah. Pluto? Yeah, I think so. And death and dying it has to do with, right? And Jupiter is the planet of big, huge, expands everything, right? So this is about death and dying of the old ways of living, but moving in to a new beginning, right? New ways, right? So this is all in alignment with love energy that is God. This is all part of the plan, people. And you can make it as shitty as you want it to or as good, depending on the paths that you take, what you create consciously and subconsciously from your soul. Now, if you don't create consciously, your soul picks up the ball and it creates for you from wellnesses and or unwellnesses that are going on in there, your soul's destiny, what's happening in the consciousness, where you're going, what it feels is best for you. Your soul picks what's best for you always, either consciously, like when you do what I do and you work with God, or subconsciously. In the past, I used to live recklessly, which really brought me to this place because I didn't pay attention or give a shit about what anything I did was. I didn't think about it. I just lived because I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, and I did whatever the fuck I wanted to do, and I lived what you call recklessly. And I wasn't cognizant or aware of my behavior and what I was doing. This is all part of what led me to this God space and my teachings and all that I know with God that is love energy. But really, it was in my soul way before I even got here. This was all part of the grand design to tap into this energy, to teach the people in this lifetime as part of my soul's mission. Do you see? Really cool shit. So this should help you understand law of universe when it comes to things like the coronavirus. When we all get together and we create from fear, or we create from this subconscious space in our souls that is our unwellnesses, our toxicities, right? Whether we're consciously aware of it or not, we are fears that exist in our souls, our fears, our habits, our patterns, our unwellnesses, both conscious and subconscious, right? Our fear that we're going to have no money, our fear that we're going to be homeless, our fear that our neighbor is going to kill us, our fear of anything and everything crazy, right? Oh, that we're all going to die of this. Our fear of that is what creates the craziness to manifest into unwellnesses for us. Sometimes it's literal. Most of the time, it is not in the way that you think. It is not in the earth world way. Earth world is one piece of all that is God, as are you. Okay, it is not in that way that we think. It is in the way of all that is God, that is love. Do you see? So as complex as this is really how things work. So the more you go on this path of fear and hate and unwell and anger and upset and you feel that, the more you create that. And then all the consciousnesses, this is what you call the collective consciousness, come together to create crazy shit like government decisions and the sickness itself and what's closing and what's not closing and your personal interactions, right? Your personal interactions are, and most definitely also part of the collective consciousness, right? But you decide for you what you want to do consciously or not, right? And the collective consciousness is what comes together to make all these things happen here in Earth world, okay? So you understand a better scope on how things really, really work here, okay? It's called the law of universe, the law of love energy, the metaphysical way of all that is, okay? It trumps everything. Not Trump the president, it trumps. It is all that is. It is top end, right? So because it is all that is, but this is how it works, right? So this said, you get a better understanding of what's going on, how it is, what the truth is, as well as on a personal level, all right, so you can understand why this is happening, what's happening, right? And the people who are in their authentic heart space bring positive and wellness, right? And the people who are in their fear space, right? In their fear space, you have your fear space and you have your heart space, right? The more you're in your heart space, right? And the more they fuel the fear, all right, and they have to balance out. And then whatever comes from that is what creates in that very moment what exactly is happening and comes together to create all of our reality. Now, our soul has the power on a personal level and creates its own reality separate, but yet within that. That's the whole essence of being here in Earth world. The ability to be human, to have this experience of oneness by ourselves, but always still being connected to all that is. That's why we're in the same reality, okay? We're in the same reality, but my personal reality is me sitting right here. I come into your reality via, in this case, YouTube, right? So this is how these things work. And we'll talk more about this well into the future so you get a better understanding of what is going on here. So when a psychic says to you, oh, this is the way it's going to be, nothing is set in stone. You have the ability at any given time to create your destiny if you know how to do it. Ask and you shall receive. Very simply, ask love. Thanks, love, for creating this for me. Thanks, love, for speaking through me. The more you work with love, the more you are automatically in your heart space, the more you raise your vibration, the less unwellness comes from the coronavirus and all this crazy shit going on, right? In our realities and in your personal reality too. All right, talk to you soon. Have a great day.